6 months ago, I launched a brand new SaaS product, and in this video, I'm going to go over how exactly it's been going over the past 6 months, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and what are future plans moving forward for this app. And on the topic of building my own SaaS business, The Hustle and HubSpot Media has a free resource that's incredibly relevant if you're thinking about building your own app or side hustle, and you'll definitely want to grab it, but I'll tell you more about that in a bit. So to provide a little bit of context about what I built a tool called PerfectInterview.ai. It was originally a suite of tools centered around helping job seekers prep for their job interviews better with the help of AI. The very first feature we launched was an AI practice question generator and practice question environment. Essentially, users can upload any type of job description and their resume, and then we generate a bunch of practice interview questions specifically for that job that they entered in. And then users can also go through mock interviews based off of these questions as well with AI mock interviewer, where they talk back and forth using their actual voice to conduct this mock interview. And then from there, we added a couple other features as well. We added this like interview co-pilot, really an interview cheating tool that listens in on your interview and answers questions for you. Really popular product these days. There's so many of them out there, and we just added that into the app as well. And then we also added an AI resume builder. Basically lets users chat to build their resume. And that is the original suite of tools that we launched with probably within the first 3 months or so. And now that it's been around for almost 6 months, it's been a lot of ups and downs, don't get me wrong. Over the past 6 months, the current monthly revenue of the product typically hovers around the $2,000 to $2,500 a month mark, and it is an incredibly profitable app. If we break down the actual hard cost of what the technology, the server, hosting all adds up to, the AI usage all adds up to, it probably adds up to maybe at most $200 a month. And for a couple of months, my co-founder did all of the social media marketing, so there's zero cost associated there as well. So from that $2,000 to $2,500 a month mark, our pure profit was maybe $2,200 a month or so. So the margins are incredibly good. The app is very cheap to run. But then starting around the month 4, month 5 mark, my co-founder and I started to realize like, okay, this is good as a side hustle, extra $2,000, extra $2,500 a month is awesome as a side hustle. But the end goal for this product for us is not a side hustle, but rather like a proper multi-million-dollar company to build in the future. You know, while we're talking about building apps and finding your first users, timing is everything. You need to catch the wave before it peaks, because by the time everyone's talking about a trend, the window of opportunity is already closing. And that's why I suggest you take a look at The Hustle's 5 trends that will define 2025 resource. Here's why this is so relevant to what we're discussing. If you're serious about building your own app or starting a side hustle, you need to know where the market is heading, not where it's been. And just like how I've talked about on this channel about how I've built my own SaaS business and how I got my first users by solving a real problem, this resource reveals 5 massive shifts creating genuine opportunities for solopreneurs right now. What I love about this resource is that it's not just highlighting trends, it's showing you specific actionable business ideas for each one. We're talking about markets that are exploding right now, from AI-powered micro businesses hitting 95% profitability in their first year to completely new ways people are building communities and connection. One trend that really caught my eye involves how traditional age-based marketing is completely breaking down, creating huge opportunities for anyone willing to think differently about their target audience. But I won't spoil the specific opportunities they outline. You'll want to see those for yourself in the actual resource. And the best part is that each trend comes with concrete your move sections that give you actual business ideas you can start implementing today. This isn't theoretical. It's the kind of actionable intelligence I wish I had when I was starting out. And of course, this resource is completely free. So if you want to position yourself ahead of the curve and build something that catches the next wave instead of chasing the last one, grab this resource using the link in the description below. And once again, thanks again to HubSpot for providing these free resources and for sponsoring this portion of the video. And we realized the current space and product that we were building was really hard to do that. We're building in the consumer space, so it's really hard to charge really high prices. And the product itself inherently has churn built into it. And the reason for that is we are building a job hunting tool. If our product is really successful, users will cancel the subscription and they won't come back for probably another couple years or so until they have to look for another job. And then if the product sucks and they can't get a job, then they'll still cancel as well. So even in the worst case scenario and in the best case scenario, the users will churn, they will cancel the subscription. So it's hard to capture a lot of revenue per user. So then my co-founder and I went back to the drawing board and started to ask ourselves, how can we repurpose the existing technology that we have right now to apply it in an industry that has larger revenue of customers who are willing to pay more, customers who this isn't just like a very point in time solution like the job recruiting angle, but rather this becomes a day-to-day staple that powers their day-to-day business day after day. I feel like I just said day-to-day like 50 times in a row. Sorry, I couldn't really get my thoughts together. That sounded pretty bad. Basically, we want to turn this tool from a vitamin into a painkiller. And for the past month or two, we've primarily been exploring a lot of B2B angles to apply this technology to. There are so many videos that are talking about B2B versus B2C apps, but the main advantages in my mind is that for B2B tools, they can pay way more. You can build a tool that's much more of a painkiller, then they're going to be using that tool for a much longer time compared to a B2C B2C tool, which has much higher rates of churn. And we've primarily been exploring 3 different B2B angles at the moment. The first B2B angle is, okay, what if we offer our tool of Perfect Interview? What if we just offer it as a tool for other career coaches to power their businesses instead? Option number 2 is, what if we can use our mock interview feature in our tool and instead use this for employee, like corporate employee training, almost like sales training, helping sales agents interact and sell to different types of customer personas out there with different interview personas that we can create for them. And then the third and final option currently we're exploring is this HR and recruiting angle, with the premise of, what if we just build an AI interviewer, an AI recruiter that can do all these phone screens, initial technical screening, so that we can help automate the recruiting process. Now, each of these different industries that we've been exploring have their pros and cons. The career coaching market has actually had a great, really warm response to us. We've been getting a lot of interested leads, interested customers, but the downside is the market is pretty small. For the sales training angle, both my co-founder and I, and neither of us have ever worked in sales, so it's kind of a black box to us. And from the very little user interviews that we've done, it kind of feels more of a vitamin solution rather than a painkiller solution. Because while a lot of salespeople are like, yeah, role playing and practicing selling against personas is really useful, at the end of the day, the best sales practice is actually just getting out there and actually trying to sell to a real customer. So while it does have some utility, it does feel like it's more of a vitamin product rather than a painkiller product, which is what we're really trying to build. And last but not least, in the HR and recruiting space, honestly, this is the most promising angle for us right now that we're trying to explore. The downside is the fact that neither my co-founder nor I have ever worked as recruiters, so we did have to do a little bit more research to figure out what's the day-to-day workflow look like for a recruiter out there. But we feel like we are much closer to the recruiting side of things than the sales training side of things. So the HR and recruiting and this AI interviewer angle is super promising. So the real downside that comes to pursuing this HR recruiting angle is the fact that we don't really have many people in our network that we can immediately work and build and develop this product with. For the career coaching side of things, which we pursued for a little bit and are still actively pursuing too, we're not giving up on it quite yet. We have a lot more connections in the career coaching space, primarily because a lot of career coaches are also on social media. So we're able to use our social media presence to get in touch with other career coaches, coach creators out there in the world. So for the HR and recruiting angle, we're still looking for that first person that we can build this product alongside of, who is very excited and willing to test this product out and integrate it into their recruiting workflow. But we are pretty bullish that the B2B angle is the way to go. Obviously, the B2C side of stuff has its own pros and cons as well. The B2B stuff has its own pros and cons as well. But right now, after building in the consumer space over the past year and a half, my co-founder and I are still pretty bullish on this whole B2B angle that we want to continue pursuing. And we're still going to keep the B2C angle up and alive for people to use, and it'll still make some money, have some revenue. But the B2B stuff is what we're really interested in right now. Now, the downside is it's going to be a much slower process because we just can't, post a video on the internet and get customers that way. And in general, it just takes a lot slower to get in touch with these people and convince companies to purchase your product compared to making a video on social media and convincing a random person on the internet to purchase your product instead. But anyways, that is a quick 6-month update. If you got to the end of this video right now, kudos to you. I feel like I've just been yapping and rambling like crazy. So thanks for watching all the way to the end. But I'm excited to continue to provide you more updates with how this all goes. Particularly excited to provide you more updates about how this whole B2B pivot goes. Hoping some nice fruits of our labor will come out soon enough, and in the next update can provide you with some more details about how this whole B2B stuff has been going. Anyways, that's all I got for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.